There was a time years ago in my life when I preached the gospel, I served in ministry, became a youth pastor, did street ministry, and eventually was ordained even as a pastor. But somewhere along the way, I lost sight of who I was. And after my dad died, I just spiraled into addiction. Cocaine became about a $250 a day habit. I was using drugs, drinking, and just running as far away from God as I could. And eventually I reached a place where I just didn't want to be alive anymore. So one Sunday morning, I attempted to unalive myself. I took some pills and ran a hose to my exhaust system and sat in my car, turned on some music, and waited to die. And I woke up in a hospital, and I remember the doctor looking at me and saying, "You absolutely should not be alive." And he was right. But Jesus wasn't finished with me. And I went to rehab, and just a few days later, while in rehab, I was all alone in my room, and I had an encounter with Jesus Christ where he literally walked into my room. And after years of running from him, he chased me down into the darkest place of my life. And I experienced his love in a way that changed everything. I knew I was being delivered and forgiven, and that I was being given another chance. And I told him, if you can fix me and you can give me another chance, I'll serve you for the rest of my life. And he did. And today, the very pastors that I once served under and walked away, they've welcomed me back and called me family and a son. And one is even my mentor. But here's one of the most incredible parts of the whole story. God sent me back into the exact same rehabs that I attended, into the exact same rooms where I was sitting broken and addicted, except now I'm standing in front of people sitting in the same seats that I once sat in and getting to tell them about Jesus and freedom. And today I get to share those testimonies, and I do street ministry, and I preach and teach the Word of God. I developed a 12-step program of addiction recovery and a discipleship program. And my very first devotional is in the final stages of being printed. So Jesus took a man who thought his story was over and showed me that he was still writing it. So if you're listening to me and you think you've gone too far, you're looking at somebody who thought the same exact thing. But Jesus still restores, he still redeems, and the darkest chapter of your story doesn't have to be the last one. I'm living proof of that. I'm Jeremy with the Smoke Signal Podcast. Reach out to me.